So mental health is a really big topic, and I think it's a really big topic at the minute that's important and is powerful and needs more focus on. Even though we are doing the right things at the minute, I still think there's movement to go for us to be a better society in regards to what or how we see mental health. So I'm going to jump straight in and ask you two, what do you think mental health is? What is your definition?
I think mental health is it consists of many different things. Like, mental health could just be like your well-being and how you are as a person. But it's not only negative, it could also be positive as well.
Yeah, like it?
Mental health to me means like keeping yourself in a good place and making sure that mentally you're in a safe and secure place, yeah.
Nice. I like the focus on the words there, safe and secure. What do you mean by safe and secure? I really I agree with it.
Because if your mental health is bad, then it can cause you to become unsafe, and you might think about doing things that, aren't the best idea and stuff, and just making sure that you're okay is making sure that you are safe.
Yeah, so looking after yourself and looking after how you feel and focusing on how you feel. I said it in the last kind of episode and the other ones before with the topic with the two others. My definition is, or how I see it, is that we've all got our physical health. So Habib being a footballer, he's got no injuries, he's ready to play football, and physically we know by looking at Habib, he looks okay and he's physically in good health. There's no scrapes or bruises, he's not got a broken arm, and he's okay. So everyone's got their physical health, all of us do. Our mental health, and we've all got our mental health because it's kind of runs alongside our physical health. The issue with our mental health is that no one can see how we really are. There's no physical warning signs straight away. It's this mental health and our physical health that kind of makes up how healthy we are as a human being. But like I said, it's the invisible side of our health because you can't see it, you only feel it inside. And that's kind of my definition of it, is that it's how we feel rather than how we look and how we are outside. Now, there's loads of initiatives that are going on. We've had the World Mental Health Awareness Day last month in October, which is really great because, again, it's important for schools and businesses and adverts and whatever it may be to speak about it and make awareness out there. And there's also one this month called November. Why is it important that we have these kind of initiatives?
Because people need to be more aware of mental health and what's really going on inside someone's brain.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it that the Movember is ideal? Its job is to make sure that men's mental health is okay because, as we were saying before, men's mental health isn't talked about enough, and with the gender stereotypes.
Yeah. So go on, expand on that then. So Savannah, you've just said there about Movember being important because it's the focus on not just everyone's mental health, but more importantly, or not more importantly, but the focus on, of men's mental health. So why is that important?
Because men are more likely to not show how they're really feeling because of gender expectations of society nowadays. They expect men to be more manly and masculine, and men want to portray themselves as that manly figure. So they're not really told as much that they can be able to express how they're really feeling in a talk, or they'll feel weak.
And why does that end up being an issue?
Because if they feel like they can't talk about it, then they're keeping it all bottled up, and the more you keep it bottled up, the more it's going to affect you. And then it just leads to eventually a breakthrough. And then that's when everyone sits down and says, we should have checked upon that person, we should have made sure that person was okay, when it's too late. So the job about talking about mental health is to make sure we talk about it before it gets to that point where we should have talked about it before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you bang on about the gender stereotypes, because society says that in order to be a man, you are strong and you're masculine, and therefore you aren't vulnerable. You don't show weakness, and therefore you don't cry. Which is completely wrong, because regardless, we're all human and we all have mental health. And therefore, if we live up to society's norms, then what we're seeing now is that there's a high percentage of suicide rates within men. There's nearly 50% of men who have admitted while they're going through a mental health crisis, they won't disclose it or speak about it. significantly more than females. So therefore, that's why we've got this Movember initiative, because it's so important to break down those barriers. Yeah, and as a society, we've got to be accepting that it's okay not to be okay. So, kind of, how would you support, if it was your friends or peers or someone in school or someone in your workplace later in life, how would you support someone in regards to their mental health if they needed support?
I'd just say finding something that you enjoy, a safe place where you can like get out of reality and find a place where you don't have to think about what is actually going on in your real life. Just finding something that you enjoy that distracts you away from it.
I really like your point about finding something you enjoy, because enjoyment releases dopamine and makes you feel better. I'm going to challenge you, Habib, because we've got a good relationship.
Yeah.
If we constantly hide how we feel and we distract ourselves, what might the issue be with that?
That the problem doesn't go away, and when you're done like having fun and enjoying what you're doing, it's still going back to that same place where you was before.
Yeah, it's a really, really good point. And so what might we have to try and do differently?
Maybe referring someone to someone that's more knowledgeable and that can help them, like a therapist.
Okay. Does it need to be as serious as a therapist initially? What could it be?
Your mum, your dad, your teachers, your friends.
Yeah, to do what?
Just to talk to, because some people can't really talk about what they're going through, but the presence of someone being there alone for them, that holds enough weight in itself, you know.
And absolutely, agree with both of you. I think we've got to try and develop a listening culture, and for people who understand and know and recognise it's okay to speak to someone else, because other people will listen and will give you their time. And one of the groups said, I will just give them my time because time's priceless, and I will make sure that I am there for them if they need me. And there's something really strong and powerful about that, in terms of just being there for somebody if they need you, and recognise and maybe just reassuring them, well, I'm here to listen. And that's really, really powerful, isn't it? What do you think the biggest strains are on a young person's mental health at the minute? And again, use your sheets if you need to lift them up or change them or do whatever. What do you think the biggest strains are on a young person's mental health?
I'd say it's mostly pressure from schools, pressure from parents to do well and to succeed.
Okay, so external pressures from maybe home and what people want you to go and do. Okay.
Once again, the living up to social media expectations, that can have a big toll on your mental health and stuff. And also just finding it hard to be the best version of yourself. Like, if you don't feel like you're doing enough, that's going to take a big, part in your mental health.
It's a really interesting point you made there, Savannah, about it, wanting to be the best version of yourself. And I'm going to ask you both a question. Do you think you can be the best version of yourself all the time, every day?
No, because some days you're not going to feel as good as you was yesterday.
Okay.
Like a certain thing might happen to cause you to feel different.
And is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to understand, that it's okay to have bad days, but good days are going to come.
And I think, again, both of you hit the nail on the head. Just like our physical health will dwindle in times, we'll be sick, we'll have a cold, we'll be under the weather. Some days we'll probably have a little dip in our performance in terms of our mental health as well. And understanding that is okay, that it's okay to not be okay. But we also need to make sure there's then people around us that we can speak to about it. What do you guys do to help your own mental health or well-being? What do you guys do?
Personally, I play football, and I play football quite a few times in a week, so that distracts me from like schoolwork and stuff.
Yeah, so that's again that enjoyment, that competitive element. You're doing something you love, that releases the dopamine in your brain, and you that keeps you happy. Yeah, I like it. Savannah?
I find joy in singing and listening to music or putting up a performance. I find that like I can step out of reality and become someone else, and I enjoy that because when I come back to myself, it makes me appreciate, all the little things I've got, and I think that's what makes my mental health good, my acting.
Nice, really nice to hear. Okay, so I've got you two in front of me, Savannah and Habib. You are, again, without a doubt, the shining beacons for young people at DTA. Not just DTA, but Greater Manchester. Not just Greater Manchester, but Ashley, I think you're both absolutely fantastic. And the points you've made from all topics today have been absolutely outstanding and brilliant. And there's so much power and influence that you two have in society that I don't think you quite understand it yet. And it's so, so great to listen to you and be here on the other side of the table listening to you two. What would be your kind of statement to other people if a young person was sat there listening to this podcast in 2-3 months' time and they were struggling a little bit? What sentence or what would you want them to listen to? What would you say to that person if they needed to hear it?
Yeah, like we said before, it's okay not to be okay, and just find something that you love and you enjoy doing that's able to distract you from what's actually going on in real life.
Okay.
I would say, once again, just keep your head up high, because better days are coming, and you're going to look back at this in a year's time and you're going to go, you know what, I overcome it and I'm stronger than ever now.